Hello, fellow Permies. I'd like to give a thank you to my newest patron, Shayla Maddox. She's a longtime friend and an amazing artist. She has her own Patreon account, so you guys should go check that out. Check out her work. So this next video is a little bit different from my past videos, as it's less about what I've been doing and more about how I've been thinking and feeling about the challenges and mistakes I've been making out here at Wheaton Labs. So hopefully you can relate. Let's get on to the video. On a sunny day in early August, I found a towering old tamarack tree which agreed to be cut down, to be reborn as the center post for my future home. After felling and limbing this old tree, I settled into the long and laborious task of peeling the bark from the trunk. There is no easy way to do this, just a lot of forceful and repetitive pushing of the scraper. As the sweat began to drip from my brow, I found myself reflecting on the events of the past few days, which had left me feeling pretty down about myself. I'd been putting a lot of my energy into the Allerton Abbey renovation, as I had made a commitment to Paul that I would finish it before the snow flies this fall. With each new delay in getting materials, and as I ran into more challenges I had not perceived before, I was having more and more doubts that I would be able to finish the project in time. A big part of why I took on the project was so I could make enough money to purchase materials for my house and live through the winter without having to work for more money. As I awoke each day to the sound of Canada geese honking their way to their warmer winter homes, I began to seriously question whether it was wise for me to continue putting energy into Allerton Abbey instead of my own warm winter home. I had to have a difficult discussion with Paul about the future of the project, and by the end I had backed out of my commitment to finish it. Although I thought I should feel relieved at the weight removed from my shoulders, I felt even worse than before. I had let down Paul. This project was his top priority for the summer. I'd let down all the people out at permies.com who were following my project updates and offering encouragement. Mostly, I'd let myself down. I'd met a challenge and failed to rise to it. I was quite certain that I had made the right decision for my own health and well-being, but still, here I was feeling like less of a man, like I was running away. My head rang with countless voices accusing me of being just another lazy, entitled millennial. Yet, here I was sweating under the sun with a tool in my hand. I thought of all the other times in my life when I'd worked nearly non-stop from morning till night. Just before I came out to Montana, I worked myself nearly to exhaustion finishing my project in San Diego. What was it that made me madly driven in one situation, but unmotivated in another? As I pushed the metal blade of the scraper across this tree, I pondered this question and came to the conclusion that what drove me was the desire to work for my own direct benefit, to finish the day with something real in front of me that was going to continue to provide me with something far into the future. With the Allerton Abbey project, along with all the other jobs and projects I have felt unsatisfied with, I was attempting to trade my hours for money. Money that would benefit me in the short term, but in the long term was just a blip in my bank account. Sure, there would be long-term benefits to finishing the Allerton Abbey project. Notoriety, glory, perhaps even a career in natural building. By backing out of the project, I was giving all these up, and going against the conventional wisdom of the culture I was raised in. A culture which tells me it is honorable to put myself through hardship, to push myself through situations I don't agree with, to work hard and sacrifice my own well-being so that I will find myself in a better financial standing. This is how I'm supposed to provide for myself and my family. This is how I am supposed to be a good member of society and find the praise and admiration of my peers. As the tree shed more and more of its protective outer layer, I began to see a bit deeper into myself as well. All of these feelings of inadequacy about giving up on a project that wasn't serving me, in fact, my root motivations for taking on the project in the first place, were manifestations of the culture I was raised in. I scraped the last bits of bark from this mighty old tree and realized that I had come out here to do the same thing to myself. I came here to remove the surface layers of myself, layers that have been shaped and weathered by the culture I was raised in, the same culture that has brought itself to the brink of collapse and brought the earth along with it. With these layers removed and my core self exposed, I might be able to build myself a new culture, a permanent culture based upon a more direct relationship with nature, in which carefully thought out actions result in countless long-term benefits. I don't need to make money to buy materials for my house. I can work directly with the materials growing all around me, and find the rest in the trash heaps of the temporary culture down the road. Real security won't come from a full bank account, but from the support of a loving community. In this time when I am planting seeds and trying to transition into a new culture, when I do still need a small amount of money to buy my food, I am finding abundant love and support from my community at large. The generous donations of my patrons are putting food on my plate, and the Permies.com community has been following the ant village and sending all kinds of material support, along with many words of encouragement. I can't help but to think that all these strangers are sending their love and support because they too are looking for a way out of their inborn culture, looking for a path towards the same permanent culture I am seeking. I can only hope to return the favor by documenting this journey, and by being as open as possible about the real challenges I face and the mistakes I make along the way. Of course, I can't escape the fact that I have left some wounds in my relationship with my community here at Wheaton Labs. This old tamarack had some wounds too, and in the process of removing its protective skin, I learned that sometimes healing offers the opportunity for some very beautiful scars.